Hello, and welcome to another IB Math speedrun with me, Vince. In this speedrun, it's the third speedrun of today, and we're going to be tackling transforming rational functions. So, let's get right into it. So, we remember that a rational function is a function where we can express it as ax plus b over cx plus d. Now, the thing about these functions is that we can actually transform them by just applying several transformations to the graph of 1 over x. And so another way to express this function is in the form y is equal to a over b times x minus h plus k. And this allows us to express it in the form of all of the transformations we need to do. So you'll remember h and k are horizontal transformations, h and k, and then a is the vertical dilation factor, which if you remember from last speedrun is how much it's being stretched vertically, and b is the horizontal dilation factor. Actually, it's 1 over the horizontal dilation factor. So it's how much it's being compressed horizontally. And yeah, that's about it for the explanation of this function. And so now we need to do some questions to make sure we understand everything. So first, we need to get a box. We need to find the rational function when y is equal to 1 over x is transformed by a vertical stretch of 2, then a horizontal stretch of 1/3, followed by a translation of -2, 3. Find the domain and range of the new function. Okay, so we can simply plug in all of these numbers into the function of the form y is equal to a over b times x minus h plus k. So a in this case is 2, so we have 2 over, remember b is the reciprocal of the horizontal stretch, 1/3. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3, so it would be 2 over 3 times x minus, and we're doing a translation of -2, 3. So in this case, this would be x plus 2 minus 3. Oh, sorry, plus 3, I think. Yep. And so now we can simply simplify this function to look like a rational one. So this would be 2 over 3x plus 6 plus 3. In other words, this would be 3 times 3x plus 6. This would be 2 plus 3 times 3x plus 6 over 3x plus 6. And so this would be 9x plus 3 times 6, 18, 20 over 3x plus 6. We need to find a domain and range, and the domain and range are simply these two. So what do I mean by that? I mean that the domain is, for x is any real number as long as it's not equal to the amount we've translated it horizontally by, because that would be the new asymptote. And the exact same for the range. So the range would be any real number that is not the amount we've translated it vertically. Yeah, and that is it. So, skipping number 2, we're doing odd questions today, and so we're going to number 3. So we need to explain the transformations on the graph of f of x is equal to 1 over x to obtain the graphs of the following functions. Okay, and so our first function we have is y is equal to x minus 3 over x plus 5. And we need to convert this into the function of the form y is equal to a over b times x minus h plus k. Remember that so we can get all of the fragments. So we can express this as x plus 5 minus 8 over x plus 5. And this would be minus 8 over x plus 5 plus 1. Right? And so therefore, in this function, we have a is equal to negative 8, b is equal to 1, h is equal to negative 5, and k is equal to 1. So what we need to do is we need to vertically dilate this function by a factor of negative 8, or in other words, vertically dilated by negative 8. Let me just check. I think we can do that. Yeah, I think that's allowable. Sorry, just need to scroll up. Well, okay. So what would actually happen is we would vertically dilate the function and then flip it around so it's negative. And that's why it would be negative 8. And at the same time, we would want to translate this function by negative 5, 1. And I think that will be all for this function. So, are we correct? Yeah, that is pretty much correct. Okay, next we have the final question, actually. I guess chapter 2 was had a lot shorter questions, but there was surely a lot more of them. So y equals 2x plus 4 over x plus 1. Well, what can we express this as? This is 2x plus 2 plus 2 over x plus 1, which is equal to 2 over x plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so we have everything we need. We know that a is equal to 2, that b was equal to 1, because x has no coefficient. We know h is equal to negative 1, and k is equal to 2. So we need to vertically dilate this by a factor of 2, and then transform it by a vector of negative 1 and 2. And that should be all. Yeah, so I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. Pretty short speedrun, but I hope you're now confident on translating rational functions, and I hope to see you in the next speedrun.